2020, a year of many unforeseen challenges, where all had to adjust to a new reality. And despite it all, GotKush TV was and still is here to serve you. And what a year it's been. We began the repatriation journey with our new show, Voyage to Motherland. We dropped the knowledge as you took your seats in the Kush University and joined us to hold a meds with the Aunt Doctor. GotKush TV invited you to get involved in conscious, controversial conversation and enter the Cipher. And when the world went into lockdown, we kept you connected with the quarantine convos. We kept our finger on the pulse of the community with coverage of the reparations rebellion and the Black Pound Day all day up. Not to mention more words and a slew of new music video releases for your viewing pleasure and the official launch of the GotKush TV website. We also brought you events including Women of Power and of course Blacktricity. Now, in 2021, GotKush TV is continuing to level up the thing. First up, we are pleased to inform you that gotkushtv.com is open to exclusive memberships. Sign up to any of our membership tiers and you will gain access to playbacks from all our events and an ever-growing list of exclusive original content, including interviews, documentaries, and shows such as Kush University. To become an official member of gotkushtv.com, simply hit the membership tab. Stay tuned for continued updates. Then there's the new shows. Look out for more Decipher, Wordsmith, Hold a Meds with the Aunt Doctor, and weekly episodes of Quarantine Convos focused on health, wellness, education, and inspiration for our community. As always, the GotKush TV film team is available for hire to cover all your events, adverts, infomercials, and all filming needs. Visit us at gotkushtv.com for hire inquiries and more information. Stand by all black businesses through our website, social media, and show content. We have monumental advertising, sponsorship, and network opportunities catering specially for you. Check out the advertising page on gotkushtv.com for more information. GotKush TV is in full flight to join us for the ride. There's 4 things you can do. Subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell to make sure you don't miss a release. Join us on all social media and hit up gotkushtv.com to subscribe to our mailing list and sign up to become a GotKush TV member for exclusive opportunities in the near future. Let us know you are feeling our content by hitting that ever so important button of approval. Comment. We want to hear your feedback on everything we are putting out. So make sure your presence is felt in the comment section. Share. Spread the word by hitting that share button and exposing your circle to the magnificence that is GotKush TV. We are looking forward to building with you throughout 2021 and servicing you with high quality black media production. GotKush TV, beyond discussion, beyond debate, we put the power in black media.
Welcome, Decipherists. Welcome back to Decipher. Tonight we have a lockdown live review of the Dividing of the Black Nation Marmite film coming to America. There's been a lot of talk about this film, the anticipation of this film, and since its release, there's been a lot of division, a lot of feelings about it. So we're here tonight to discuss those views. So who wants to go first and share what they thought of the film? Naledi, how about you? With that gorgeous smile. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Sis, we still can't hear you.
You're still muted.
No. Well, Kevin, looks like it's going to have to be you because we can hear you.
Cool. I don't mind going first.
right.
I'll
Let's
be
try and
honest,
sort
from
out
the
Lily's
jump.
audio in the meantime. All right,
Yeah,
Kev.
from the jump, I didn't enjoy the film. Personally, I would rather have not watched it. And I know for some people, so I've been online and people saying, just give it a break. It's nice to see, all these legends back in action. But it just didn't do it for me. I didn't like the comedy. The jokes felt very cheesy and just very kind of, I just didn't like it, to be honest. There were good aspects in it though. I like the fact that like the um just like the whole scenery and everything like that looked very nice. It was very like clothing, but I feel like they done too much on the outwards and they didn't really focus on like the narrative too much, the storytelling. Yeah, it just seemed like it was lacking for me. What about yourself?
Okay, so as we had discussed, like our thoughts on the film before it came out, like me, I already had low expectations just from watching the trailer. So it
Yeah,
actually surprised me that I enjoyed it. Well, the first few minutes I didn't enjoy it, but then eventually I enjoyed it when I took it for what it was, which was a cheesy comedy, as was the first one. So when you take it for what it is, which is a cheesy comedy, and you just look at, like you said, then bringing out some of the greats, then bringing in some of the new people who watched it when they were growing up,
right.
the imagery, the music, the aesthetics, and just it being a feel good emphasis on comedy. We weren't getting no Black Panther, and I weren't expecting Black Panther. You take it for what it is. It was an enjoyable, feel good movie, and I just feel like we're so critical of our things that come out that we produce, and sometimes but especially for something
Wait,
like
wait, did
America,
they produce it though?
it's a I mean, in black films, I mean, anything that we do or are part of, we're very
Right.
critical of it. And I'm saying, like, if you just take it for what it is, if you watch the first Coming to America, what were you expecting? Black Panther, Blade. I don't know what people were expecting. Just enjoy the comedy, enjoy the hairstyles, enjoy the little, Eddie Murphy coming back and bringing back sexual chocolate and all that nostalgia. Popcorn. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, man's still kicking. It's all good. People are taking it so seriously, like they'll expect him a history lesson or like I said, Black Panther and all that stuff. I was like, mate, I wasn't expecting that because I knew what I was getting because it's coming to America. That. So that's my views, really. Sis, what about you?
Is my audio okay?
Your audio is fantastic now.
Oh, fantastic! That's great. So it's really difficult, Yemaya, because I hear you and just taking it for what it is and stuff like that. But I feel like sometimes we allow a lot of things in the name of entertainment. I felt
I don't think we do. I don't think we do, but okay.
Okay. Comparing it to the first movie, instantly, just the first, thought for me was like the second one just lost a lot of kind of the regal energy and the kind of the first one was a bit more sophisticated for me than the second one.
Really?
Like I honestly, I feel like when Papa King died, you know who I'm talking about, the king who passed in the second film. I feel like all the dignity of the film died with him. It just went with him. Whatever sophistication was there from the first film left the door.
And also, right, let me just say this as well.
I don't think there was sophistication in the first one either, but hey.
But what were his last words before he passed? Like,
say that again.
His last words before he passed was what? Go get your son. Like, it wasn't anything profound.
Go get what, sorry?
Like his last words. What were his last words before he passed away?
I can't actually remember, but what I do remember was him saying, you know what, I want to have my funeral while I'm alive. And I thought, that's a great idea. Like, I want to be part of, especially when black people have funerals, I was like, I want to be a part of my party when I die. And I thought that was a great idea.
I just felt like, as a father, passing away, your last words to your son be something more profound. Like, it was very underwhelming.
It was
like, for such.
He's supposed to be something funny because it's a comedy.
I know.
It wasn't going to give me some philosophy.
Just because it's comedy doesn't mean it has to be shallow. Like, I hate like shallow comedy. Kevin Hart's films, like, that's very low end like comedy. But then you have
that's
like
Eddie
other
Murphy
comedy
style.
Yeah, I expected
I
him
wouldn't
to
Even
say
the
so.
uncle, even the uncle of the son, he's also a comedian. That's that kind of comedy. That's their style of comedy. It's like there's different types of comedy, and Eddie Murphy. That's his style of comedy. That cheesy kind of comedy. Like if you know what you're getting, then I'll understand why you're belly aching. Like this is Eddie Murphy we're talking about. You know, I mean, it's like saying to Tyler, it's like watching a Tyler Perry film and complaining about Medea. That's how I feel.
I've never seen a Tyler Perry film personally.
Okay,
but
okay. I'll just,
I don't
for
remember.
me,
I don't know what to say. Got some Tyler Perry films. Sorry, sis, go on.
when I was watching the film, yeah, and I get what Kev is saying in terms of not necessarily watching these, you know, Tyler Perry type of films. For me, it got to a point whereby I really, in my heart, had to say, I'm watching this for the Cipher, because on any other given day, it would have been locked off from 5 minutes. Like, it was just too saturated with too many stereotypes. Absolutely. I don't know how to say this, but just taking the Michael, just really full on, just like, I found a lot of parts of the film very offensive, and I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. So, there's a scene, and obviously this live is major spoiler. So anybody watching this, I hope you watched this before.
Block your ears. Block your ears now.
Block your ears or turn it off, and then come back to this later. Watch the film, because we're gonna tell you the story. But so there's a scene where the Lavelle, the young guy, he's now applying for a job. He's there in the job interview, and the white interviewer is interviewing him, and there's this kind of slapstick comedy. I don't know what type you can call it. I'm not a critic, but there's a scene where there's a back and forth where the white guy is now saying just the stereotypical stuff. Oh well, what people think, you know, black people are about. So he's saying now, is your mom on drugs? Does she have a gambling problem? Why did you have to help your mom with the rent? Now I too am the type of girl that, you know, was helping in the house financially when I became a bit more financially independent, and nobody was on drugs, and, you know, just all of this stuff. It was just too many stereotypes. It was just too much.
That was deliberate. That was deliberate. They were parodying the real experiences that a black man like him has when he goes to a job interview in front of a white man of his station. And equally, he highlighted that you're judging me based on my background, and your background is X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? That was deliberate.
Another really offensive joke that was in the film that I didn't really appreciate. Remember the part where Eddie Murphy walks into the barbershop, then the old Jewish man says, "Hey, it's Kunta Kinte." Like, that one, that's cool. But then the guy who was getting his hair cut, the black dude, he was like, it's the little African child with the flies on his face. And I was like, yo, where did that joke come from? Like, who wrote that? Like,
that's the
I'm
old
sure
school
that
American joke. Yeah.
But I'm sure that Eddie Murphy himself did not find that funny. I can bet that anyone on the cast did not write that. Like, who wrote that? I really want to know. And then now I see that the director is a white dude. It makes sense now, like, because that shouldn't have been in the script. That wasn't funny to me at all. At all.
But he's a director, but I don't know if he was a script writer.
I don't know, but to me that joke just seemed very out of place, and it wasn't even funny at all. Like,
I hear that. And people who are watching, I hope you're liking, I hope you're sharing. If you like what you're hearing, if you've got something to say, we're going to invite you to come and share your views soon. Like, share with your people to come and join the conversation. Yeah, I do hear what you're saying. And I will say that these jokes were deliberately offensive. It was deliberate.
Right.
Deliberate or not, it's still offensive. It's still a bit out of order.
These are the kind of jokes comedians make. These are the kind of jokes comedians make, though.
Listen, I've watched Eddie stand up, right? I've seen Arsenal before. I know their type of comedy, and that just seemed very out of place. It didn't seem like they co-signed that. And even even when the film opened up, it opened up with like a Pepsi commercial. They were showing Pepsi and all this other commercial stuff. I saw like ads for Puma. I saw hella stuff in there. I'm just like,
yeah, that was
this is
a bit
commercial.
booky.
Like,
The Puma thing was a bit booky. I'm not gonna lie.
how
Yeah,
are you gonna open up with Pepsi?
yeah,
I mean, I know it's coming to America. America's a commercial. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's a corporation in itself.
Again, that might have been a parody of how commercial like America is, and that everything's about product placement and all that kind of stuff. And that could have been a parody. There was a lot of parody in it. That's you know, for Africans, African Americans, white people. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they'll take a more of a like satirical kind of approach, but
mainly black people. Mainly black
It's a black film.
I think maybe there's only so much African jokes and black people jokes I can take for 1 hour 45 minutes of a film. It was just overwhelming in terms of just scene after scene, and it just felt like it was getting worse over time.
And it's so mad for me because I've been listening to a lot of the chatter around this film, and there's nobody in the middle. There's people that liked it, and there's people that hated it, and it's just like it's so divisive at the moment. I'm just like, wow, like who would have thought? Especially after a film that's been like a classic film it's been what? How many years? 20 years, 30 years since it's come out. You know, and then you know, it's now so divisive. It's just quite interesting to see. And for me, I was thinking to myself, okay, like, will we ever be satisfied with anything that comes out, even when we make it ourselves?
Like for me, it's like, sorry. Like, what were their motivation behind? Yeah, what was the motivation behind making this film? Because I feel like there was no progression. It like with the first one, like the storyline, it was cool. It was really, really good. Like I even watched. I'm sure you must have seen Naledi, like maybe Brother Panic's breakdown of it. Like he was breaking down how there's even like a spiritual kind of understanding of coming to America, like the first one, where like so you have, let's say that Zamunda represents the spiritual world, and then America represents you know, the third dimension where we are, right? So we've fallen. We have to find something here, and then bring it back to Zamunda, come back and get our crown, right? So I understand that. And I feel like the first film executed well to show that. But in the second one, like they just kind of done a repeat, but it was just a terrible repeat. They didn't progress. They didn't show why Zamunda is great. They could have opened up and shown like a different aspect of you know,
that would have been
King's father, or just anything. I just felt like they didn't take the story anywhere. They just kind of repeated the first one, but very terribly.
But made it a bit more glam. I think
just
the way that's for me. Sorry, go on, Kev.
Yeah, it was just all glamour. They were too flashy with even the gold and the dresses and everything. It was just too much visually, and there was no substance. I felt like there was no substance in the film.
I hear you. I think where the gap stood out for me was a conflict between Nextdoria and Zamunda, and like obviously he's meant to marry the daughter again. If more spoilers for people who haven't watched it, marry the daughter again, and obviously he ran off with the woman he fell in love with. They kind of skipped over how they found that potential beef, you know, act of war.
Right.
How did they resolve that? That doesn't make sense. So that was a bit sketchy for me, and I was a bit disappointed with the delivery of that, because that could have been a huge part of the storyline about like, the political element behind the act again of ditching another daughter that they had arranged to marry, and the implication that would have had on Zamunda's political affairs, especially due to the fact that he went to find an heir to protect themselves politically. So that kind of was a bit wishy-washy. Yeah. But the cameos made me excited. I'm not gonna lie. The cameos got me excited. I was like, because I wasn't expecting to see anybody in it like at all. So when I saw all these people in it, I was like, oh, it was nice, because like I can imagine like they watched it as young people, young children, like I did, and they're actually in it, and I thought that was kind of nice to see as well. Merging like a modern music with like, you know, and the performance and stuff, that was nice. But I like it. It's going to get me going. So yeah. Tantan's joined us. Welcome, sis.
Hey people. I literally just finished watching it. I think, guys, I could hear your comments in the background, and I was like, you finish, I can join in. I agree. Naledi. What'd you say?
Yes. Can I say one more thing? Yeah. I think what happens is when there is a film with a black cast, we get gassed because we get excited because is my sound okay? Sound is fine? Okay. We get so excited when it's a black cast because we feel like the cast made the movie, and the cast, these are just performers who have been given a script to read. The writers who wrote the story is three white gentlemen. You can Google them. And what happens is, because we get excited, we feel like we should be able to directly relate to the story that's being told. And this, I feel like it's dangerous with the stereotypes, because we can say, oh, it's a comedy, it is what it is, but people not only in the Black community but people outside of our community look at us and see those stereotypes in us in terms of our daily lives. So it wasn't Black writers. Eddie Murphy created the characters in the film, but in terms of the storyline, which in my opinion was very lazy, and like I said earlier, just unsophisticated, it just didn't give me enough depth, like Kevlar was saying. The story just helps perpetuate a lot of the ways and the negative ways that people look at the Black community, African community and African American community, because Lavelle's mom, for example, as funny as she was, it was just too overbearing with the...
That's what got me from the trailer. I was like, why are they portraying this woman like that?
There's a part where she literally said, yes, I'm a hoe. I had my whole, and I'm just thinking, what? This is not right. I know African American women. I'm friends with women from America who are Black. I don't see that type of thing in them. You know, very intelligent, very, amazing, women from America that I know, and this is not them. However, this is how they're portrayed in terms of the outside world, and so until you get to know one, you're gonna think that that's what an African American woman is like, and that's very dangerous.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction when I just from seeing the trailer. The first thing that stood out to me was this woman that has the son and how she's been portrayed, and that is a narrative for the ghetto Black African American woman, not even just in her mannerism, but even that the way they made her look, and that was the first thing that flagged up to me before I watched it, and I was complaining about that in discussions about, which is partly why I had low expectations for the movie when I watched it. So it wasn't hard to exceed them watching it, but at the same time I took it for what it was, which is an Eddie Murphy comedy, and Eddie Murphy comedy. So yeah, Tan, we'd love to hear from you now that
yeah, I found it hard. I switched off, to be honest. From the get-go, it's like, okay, I heard a stereotype. I weren't comfortable with it. I was like, I see where this is going. It's hard to keep me engaged with stuff like that. Didn't really laugh. It was just lazy. As Naledi said, for me, it was lazy. And it's not about, like, Eddie Murphy. Yeah, it's a comedy, but you can still be smart with comedy. You can still be clever with comedy. And I'm not saying you have to play all characters, positive and just show the best of the Black community or the African American community, but we're definitely more than one layer. Like, I feel like it was just loads of just like negative, or just like
so
out.
You think the McDowells were another alternative depiction of the African American community? Remember the McDowells? Even though they weren't shown that much in number 2, that you think that they showed the barbershop culture, they showed the ghetto baby mama culture, and they showed the McDowells, which was more of like a working class, upper working class African American family as well.
Yeah, I mean, they had them there, so that's what showing means, like having them there. But I just kind of feel like there was just too many stereotypes that were being said, that I just feel like in this day and age, it's just inappropriate. Like, we've outgrown that now, or we should have. Like I said, it's not about just saying all the positive stuff, but I just think some things are just like, talking about the black man in the beginning being well endowed, I was kind of just like, it's like that you could have gone somewhere else. There could have been so much more depth to it. It could have, they had the money, like this, the cinematography was to a good standard, but the storyline, like it could have been better for me personally. It was exciting to see, you know, Teyana Taylor and different people pop up with their cameos, but is that enough then for us to be like, woo, like amazing, like, you know what I mean? Because we like her as an musician.
Expectations weren't that high, so yeah, I guess.
So yeah, that's my
films that, for me anyway. Most films that Eddie Murphy are in, like even his serious films, like was that Police? I can't take any of his films seriously, even the non-comedy ones. That's just how I feel about Eddie Murphy as an actor. So
yeah, but I still feel like it's a different level to this.
Golden Heart, I said the movie is a very good comedy with hidden symbolisms. Golden Heart, stay there because I want to ask you a bit more about what those symbolisms were, because I would actually know what they were, to be fair. Yeah, so stay tuned. Do you think we're ready to open up to the audience now, guys, or is there any more you want to add?
I was thinking to myself, like the first word that popped up in my mind when I finished watching the film was fast. And then I realized I didn't actually quite know the definition of fast, but I feel really like this movie it does define that, because the definition is something that's, you know, a dramatic piece of work, and it's supposed to be comedy, but it goes further than just comedy and it becomes buffoonery. So it's literally making us look stupid. You know what I mean? Like everything about it was really silly, and it was the word fast included something like you know, highlighting impossible situations, which was essentially the storyline. You know, your dad comes out of nowhere and he's the king of such and such in Africa, and he's come to take you out of the ghetto of whatever, and it's only when you've been taken out of that into the African royalty that you are now of value as a person, which I know they kind of consolidated at the end, but that's not a reality, you know. Yes, it is a reality of maybe fathers not being in the picture or having to look for your father, but you as an African, you are royalty regardless whether someone's coming to get you tomorrow to take you somewhere or not. So yeah, it just wasn't the one.
But isn't that a lot of the narrative that a lot of Pan-Africanists hold, that, you know, we're trapped in the West, in, you know, in the ghetto, we have this slave mentality, we need to reclaim our Africanness, and, you know, we're kings and queens, and, you know, only when we go back to Africa can we reclaim our greatness and our royal bloodline and heritage and X, Y, and Z. So, you know what I mean? That narrative is kind of quite prevalent irrespectively, and although it was in the movie in a comedic sense, I would say like that's what a lot of people aspire to, you know, coming out of the Western, you know, world, the ghetto that they've created for us, and finding your roots and your greatness, essentially. So in 1 minute, Naledi, I just want to read this comment from Dr. Sankofa. It says, what's funny about our people representing us like that? Sorry, but there's plenty of downgrading in black media and etc. as it is, thanks. It was a disappointment. And Eddie, you're a big, hard black man. Come better. That's from Dr. Sankofa. Sickleman said, first movie catered to sexism, colorism, and racism. The scene where the topless black woman were cleaning the black man's penis. The scene where an African prince had to take the role of a cleaner. Yes, what was you saying?
Oh yeah. I completely agree with the comments. I mean, it's there is an oversaturation of these narratives and oversaturation of these kind of perceptions of black people, and it's just not the time. We've just had Black Lives Matter last year, you know. Let's not forget. But you know, I think it's an insult to our intelligence. It's an insult to our you know, feelings as a people. There's so much going on. There is a lot of racial tension. Coming to America on Friday, and then, you know, a lot of racially charged, news on Monday. You know what I mean? People need to be careful. You can't just be making jokes like this here, there, and everywhere, because tomorrow when we see something on the news relating to Africa yet again, or relating to African Americans, it's a problem. People can't just be so free and confident. These men, is it David Sheffield, Justin Canoe, Barry Blaustein, these are the writers of Coming to America. Eddie Murphy just created the characters, but in terms of the story, it's white men. This is enough. This is ridiculous. It's not right.
Yeah, I have to say, man, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you.
Now, carry on, sis, because you're making a great point. I'll wait till you're done.
Just one more point in terms of even the cinematography, I don't know if that's the right word, but the visuals of the film, and we just came out of Wakanda 2 years ago, and even though I'm not the biggest Wakanda fan, one thing I must respect is that film, they took the extra 2 seconds to Google African tribes to at least come and incorporate in the film. I saw Zulu people, I saw Soto people, I saw Ken. But you're telling me Zamunda is in Africa, but you have not. What they've done, is they've gotten
a mishmash.
Got a material that you can get from Brixton, and they've put, cowrie shells on the dress, and that's an African dress. Come on now, you could get designers. I flick through every day on Instagram, whatever. There's African designers out here who are making astonishing work. Even the clothing in the film is like, I'm questioning the budget.
What I didn't notice was they did mix a lot of different cultures in one outfit. So they'll have like Ethiopian, and they'll have like Ghanaian in one outfit, and
Lavelle, the only thing I saw was Lavelle had a Kenyan flag wrapped around his waist. So lazy, just absolutely, just ridiculous. And there were so many times in the film where I even forgot we were even in Africa. I was thinking, oh yeah, I couldn't even differentiate between the scenes from America and Africa anymore. It was the same thing.
Go on, Kevlar.
Nah, that's a great point. Everything you said about the writers, I need to research that myself, because I felt very out of place watching this film. Like, I didn't if it wasn't for this Cipher live, I wouldn't have continued watching it. I watched it alongside my mom and my brother, and we both felt like this was just super corny. Like, even the rites passage that Lavelle had to take to become the king, it was very childish. Like, what, he just has to learn how to walk like a king, and he has to cut the whiskers off a lion. Like I felt like that was just very childish. Like, the rites of passage for someone to become a real king, the king of Zamunda, like, they could have taken him to like some kind of like political conference and made some comedy out of that. Like, they could have done something different, show a different aspect of Zamunda and a different aspect of masculinity and of what it means to rule a nation, right? But they just made him learn how to walk like a king, like just very like shallow.
Sorry, Kev. I was going to read a comment from one of the audience members. FBA Nigel is saying they want a academically inclined comedy. Laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji.
Not at all, bro. It's just like like there are many ways to do comedy. Like, there's very cheap comedy, and you can go watch that. I just expected more when you're seeing the grits. That's all it is. And yeah,
I always expected more from Eddie.
Yeah, I think
I'm just saying.
a lot of people would be loyal to it because we
the classic
years ago, and it's kind of rooted in emotions, like, it's a classic or whatever. But I was thinking like, I want to sit down and watch this with my daughter, and I'm glad that I only had a chance to watch it last minute, because if I wouldn't let my child watch that. I couldn't let her see that. Do you know what I mean? Because what am I showing her? What am I feeding her? So yeah.
All right, people watching, if you want to come and join the conversation, we are open now for you to come and join the conversation. Feel free to do so. The link has been shared, so please share as well and join us for the conversation. Busy Dignal is saying, it's a shame the comedy has not evolved since the original film. We are too sophisticated to accept 2 hours of cliches. Being too hungry for that paycheck made them drop their standards too low. We've got Dr. Sankofa in the back. We're going to bring through Dr. Sankofa now. Welcome, King. Welcome, Dr. Sankofa.
Greetings, greetings.
Greetings, Dr. Sankofa. So let's hear from you. What are you saying about this Marmite comedy?
Yeah, what I'm saying is similar to what the sister on the panel was saying. It's like, imagine you're gonna bring your kids down and try and sit down and watch this film. It's gonna be like it's not coming from an African perspective. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's like you're teaching it's like from the conqueror's narrative, basically. You're gonna be teaching them from that narrative kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like all them stereotypes that they're putting in the film there with the girl going on like she's happy to be a hoe, and what do you call it, the son there wanting to even the church thing. There's pure angles where it's like, it's not African. You're supposed to be coming from Africa to America. Why are you gonna do that? And then this is what they're showing us. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man.
100% agree. Like, they need to step up. And that's why I keep saying, like, it ain't about them trying to make it too serious. Like, I understand it's still a comedy, but man, you add levels. You can research more. You can just show the people that this is coming to America too. Like, just bring it up a level. Like, because everyone's consciousness, the consciousness of the whole planet is rising. Like, you could just bring somebody up to that standard. Like, you ain't gotta go back to all those old stereotypes. Like, I expected, I personally I wouldn't watch this, and I wouldn't watch it with my daughter, with my son. I ain't got none, but if I did, I wouldn't. I couldn't bring.
It's like, what are you gonna get from it? What are you gonna get from it? Showing your kids that what's empowering. Do you know what I mean? It's proper. It's a big mockery, and then they're trying to make out like it's something good.
Yeah, like,
it's not good at all. And then you got big celebrities. You got big celebrities like Eddie Murphy. It's like, all right, fair enough earlier on in the game, but now it's like, come on, by now you're not even up in the levels. Look at Dave Chappelle. Not all good money is good money. He got off to Africa and come back because he didn't want to take that money and bring his people down just for the money, basically. Like he's selling your soul kind of thing. It's not good, man. And then if you look at the state of our community, it's shocking. And then this is what you're going to be pushing. We need to be promoting better things, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It'd be nice to see more Black Panther-esque, affirming stuff, on TV. We do not see enough of it. And that's always been the complaint, we don't see enough of ourselves on TV. When we do, it's always the negative stuff. It's always the non-serious stuff. Yeah, definitely like to see more of that, for sure. Definitely agree with that.
For real, that's why
We've got
I like
Cardinal of Babylon joining us as well. Welcome, King, to the chat.
Yes,
have you got anything else to add before we move over to the new guest?
I've got to go.
I just want to say big up GotKush TV for what you're doing. This is what we need.
Give thanks.
Bless up everyone on the panel.
Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. And the Cipher, the next episode of the Cipher will be out on the 16th of March. So be sure to tune in as well.
Come on. All right, listen, I've got to go, I've got to go quickly. So I'm just going to tell you this. The film overall, terrible. However, the best thing about the movie was the hair and the makeup. Oh, it was good. Oh, the hair and the makeup was good.
That's what brought a tear to my eye still. Some of them hairstyles was like, oh, my beautiful people.
Yes,
so beautiful.
Come on. Right, but the movie, terrible. However, certain bits of the movie, like the nostalgia from the first one, yeah, all right, cool. However, the acting, the story, the sex, the American consumerism, the slapstick comedy throughout, the overacting, it was poor. But what I wouldn't do is read too much into this movie, like, because I heard someone say Black Panther-esque, and I'll say this movie was just a paycheck for Eddie. So I wouldn't
you can't
even
be expecting Black Panther. I'm sorry, if you were expecting Black Panther, you did. It's Eddie Murphy.
No, but like this movie was literally nothing more than a paycheck because Eddie wasn't trying. There was no role for Lisa, the wife, like
or his own daughter.
No. Like I said, let's just take the positives from the movie, and the only thing I could think of right off the bat was the hair and the makeup
and the
and the
cameos
and
and the music.
the wardrobe,
but
the wardrobe
you don't have
and the music.
you don't have to stay
Yeah,
too
the wardrobe
to see
and the
that
music
though.
was freak. But anyway, listen, family, I've got to go. Peace, peace, peace.
Give thanks
Peace,
for your
thank you very
contributions.
much for coming into the show. But yeah.
Is there anybody else that wants to come and join us? Go on, sis.
In
Yeah.
regards to the music, again, yeah, it's difficult to compare to Black Panther, but I just have to. But throughout Black Panther, there was a whole playlist of songs, just constant Afro beats, Afro house, a constant. I literally, from my memory, I watched it last night. There were 2 Afro beat songs, and there was 2 house tracks, and there was a lot of old school, maybe African American type of things, but even in the scenes where you're meant to be in Africa, this is what I'm saying, you're meant to be there, and there was just such a lack. It was majorly lazy. The music was very disappointing. Fair enough, we saw the video and it was great, but that was at the end. There was just no vibe. No vibe. There was no music. I will say, I do want to say before we finish, I want to say the one positive that I have, I am from South Africa. You lot know. The sister, immediately, I knew, from when I saw her, she didn't even need to say a word. I knew she was from South Africa. Lavelle's new girlfriend. Absolutely beautiful girl, beautiful accent and stuff. They did try.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. All the women were beautiful. All of them.
She wore the same outfit for 80% of the film. That outfit was the only true fit. She probably brought that from her house. I promise you, that looked more. That was the most tribal. She's Zulu. You can see she wore a Zulu outfit. Everybody else was just mixed match. Don't know what's going on. She was the only. I respect the girl. I think she's probably up and coming. I don't know her name and stuff, but I have to say big ups to her.
Even Lavelle, as a new actor, seeing new talent and him being introduced to the acting world. I thought he was Chris Rock's son. I was like, this guy looks like Chris Rock. He got Chris Rock energy, like in terms of the comedy. I was like, I had to Google him and like, is he Chris Rock's son? And he wasn't. The Lavelle, Eddie Murphy's Prince Hakim's son in the movie. Right. He looks like Chris Rock. Was it Chris Rock? No, not Chris Rock. The guy from Rush Hour. What's his name? Chris Tucker. Not Chris Rock. Chris Tucker. He looks like Chris Tucker, and he had Chris Tucker energy. I literally had to Google him, but like, is this Chris Tucker's son making his debut? And it wasn't. But yeah, he just gave me Chris Tucker. My bad, people. Don't come for me. Chris Tucker. Yeah. Anyway, people, as I said, the next episode of the Cipher after a long break will be out on the 16th of March. We're going to run the trailer, so check it out. Should more African nations join the Year of Water?
I would say every descendant of Africa should go home.
But the same things are happening. The tax money is still coming back to Europe.
How do we contribute to the decolonization of Africa?
So if Africa is our focus, are we then neglecting the Caribbean?
The year returned so successful, 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion. And all of a sudden, the whole world shut down.
Making sure that people on the continent see the real picture of how we live here.
Welcome from Ghana, Accra.
Enter the Cipher. Hey, we back, people. We back. EB's back. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying this conversation. It's been, like I said, a hot topic, and then now the Harry and Meghan thing jump in and overtake the conversation. But I feel like, you know, there's been some good views shared. We've got another person who wants to join the conversation. His name is Nigel. Coming King. Welcome to Decipher.
Hello, how you doing?
We good. Thanks for joining us. So what you got to say about this show, this film, this film? What have you got to say?
I, as a Black American, I think the whole point of the comedy was Black Americans cosplaying as Africans. So I think that was like the whole point of the movie, of the series, of the movies. So what are your thoughts on that?
That wasn't my initial thoughts or feeling about it, but it can be seen that way. You know, you've got some Black Americans dressing up as Africans. You know, it can appear that way, especially because it wasn't done to a standard as Black Panther. As Naledi has highlighted all the kind of laziness around the cultures and the clothing and stuff like that. So yeah,
Well,
I'm waiting for a movie about Shaka Zulu or the Salines. Same here.
Well, have you ever seen the series Scary Movie made by Keenan and Ivory Wayans, the Wayans family?
Yes.
And if you notice the stereotypes, there are a lot of stereotypes, like black women, black folks yell.
Yeah,
it's that kind of comedy. It's kind of like the stereotypes are the whole point. So that's kind of like the heart of it. But I understand.
Like, Nutty Professor, another Eddie Murphy movie, Nutty Professor. Them kind of stereotypes are there as well. Yeah.
Right.
I hear
you. That was just my whole take on it. I don't think it. I understand the politics behind it, but the cultural politics. But I just think the stereotypes are the whole point, though. That's what makes it funny.
Maybe it didn't drop in the same way that like Scary Movie did because it was Africa. If that makes sense, I feel like
we're more sensitive to it. We're very sensitive to it, so that we're so sensitive to content that comes out about us or by us that when we get something that we're not supposed to take too seriously, we can't help but just be very triggered. And nothing that there's not one thing that has come out that we have done, serious or not, that there's not a barrage of criticism for. That's how I felt when this came out. Like, I never thought that. I didn't think it was going to get criticism. But I never thought it would be so divisive.
But also as well, I feel like I wonder what the reaction would be to Scary Movie if it came out now, because obviously that was like what was that, like 15 years ago? 20, like the current climate, like it's just completely different.
Especially after the Me Too movement, I feel like that would have been a bit political if it came out now because of some of the sexual jokes and the cum stuck in the hair. Was it like, I know all the feminists would have been like, oh my god, but especially after the Me Too. But again, you got to take it for what it is. Scary Movie was a comedy spoof of an actual horror film.
Yeah. For me, I think it's like checking the social temperature. Is this the standard? Are we okay with this? Are we fine with this? Are we okay with Black women, whether African, whether from America or any part of the world, being portrayed in that way? Are we okay with that? Okay, click yes. Then any girl can now come up and say, yeah, I'm a hoe. I'm proud to be a hoe, and it's okay because she's Black. That's cool. Okay, Africa, just we're okay. This is our standard, and I pray that we raise our standard as a people and say, you know what, this is not good enough for us. We need a bit better. I
agree. I think in terms of being portrayed in that way, and that's the only narrative that comes out about us, about Black women. Being portrayed in that way consistently, that's definitely problematic. But you have to also be realistic that there are women out there that talk like that and that say that stuff about themselves. Black women, white women, Asian women. There are women that move like the way she moves. So I think that at the same time, it's like we can criticize it, but I think the criticism needs to be that the single story. The problem is the single story, not the story itself.
Yeah, you need a mixture. You can't just have one. As I say, you need layers to it. If it was that character, but there were other characters, like other things to balance it out, it may have been viewed differently. But as I think a lot of us have said now, it just seemed very lazy, very lazy.
Wait. So the interview.
One second, King. FBA is saying comedy is what it was. That's Black American comedy style. Thanks for your comment, FBA.
Exactly.
There was a Queen that said earlier that she saw some symbolism in there. Queen, if you are still there, you'd like to come through and kind of talk a bit more on that. We'd love to have you on here. We've got a few minutes remaining, so please come through. Naledi, was you going to say something?
I was going to say, it's the things that have been going on. Sorry, it's the things that have been going on in Black America that has kind of at this current stage reawoken everyone in terms of the discrimination and the murdering and whatever. So it's kind of just like, I feel like, as I think Naledi was saying earlier, it's like you can't 1 minute be like, oh, I'm against this, you can't say this to me, you can't disrespect me in this way, but then you know that you're chanting that on Monday to Friday, but then on the weekend you're laughing at yourselves using the same stereotypes that those people are using to justify treating you the way they treat you. Like there has to be a line. I'm not saying everything's got to be serious, and as I said, everything's got to be positive, because that's not real either. But like some of the stereotypes, it was just toxic, man. For me, it was just toxic.
Brother Nigel, you wanted to add something as well, I believe.
Yeah, but you're talking about stereotypes from non-black people, right? Discriminating against non-black people, discriminating against black people. But if you're doing it in-house, black people, then there's a certain license that you have to be able to do that. You know?
It wasn't in-house, Nigel. It wasn't in-house. 3 white men wrote that.
3 white men wrote that.
3 white men, one of them definitely, 3 white men wrote that.
Well, did you see the first Coming to America?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was in the same vein as that. So
I don't personally, Nigel, I mentioned before that I feel like there was an air about the first film that was lost in the second film. I feel like the first film was a little bit more sophisticated, even with the slapstick comedy or whatever stereotype that they had in the first film. It was a little bit, there was something more to it. It was a bit meaty. I give you an example. The King, Eddie Murphy's dad in the first film, and his wife, their relationship was just, it was, I think that it was turbulent, but it was really kind of respectful. Like there was a lovely kind of air about the wife, Eddie Murphy's mom, in the first film. Now the relationship between Eddie Murphy and his wife in the second film is lies, deceit. They look like they just dating now. They don't look like they were married or for all these years had 3 kids. She doesn't know he's gone to America. She doesn't know where her man is. And then now when he comes back, he didn't even tell her that he came back with his baby moms. You know what I mean? Like, what type of stuff is that? This is a farce. This is so out there and just ridiculous. But my thing is, what the dangerous thing is, it's not just Black people watching this film. It's people from other communities looking at that as the line of what Black people are today in 2021. If anybody wants to know from me, this film does not represent me as a Black girl. Don't ever come to me thinking that I am like this woman, Lavelle's mom, or anybody else in this film. I have a different air about me as a Black woman. I value and I respect myself as a Black woman, and I didn't like it.
Thanks, Queen, for sharing your thoughts. We have the man himself, Shakara. Wagwan King. You're on mute.
Mic check, can you hear me?
You know I had to threaten this guy to come on here, yeah?
I told you I was going to leave it alone, but I was putting her foot down, you know what I mean, giving me them Dora Milaje orders and them thing there. Anyway, I'm sorry, Yemaya, though. I'm gonna have to gang up on you like with the rest of the panel. Like, man was not feeling this film.
I'm good. I'm a Leo, man. I can handle it. I can do my thing still. I can handle my corner.
Yeah, like man was not feeling this film with it. That's what I gotta say.
I know this.
I feel like. Yeah, like, I feel like, and by the way, ancestral side there, yeah. I'm giving ancestral side there to everyone that thought this film was leg. Like, I'm just not on it, yeah. What's it called? The fact, for me, right? All right, outside of, you know what I'm saying, my ultra pro-Black, get me, Pan-African sensibilities and proclivities, yeah, it was just lazy. Like, it just wasn't a good storyline. Do you know what I'm saying? And one thing you can say about that, now bear in mind, yeah, I want to say clearly, the first film, yeah, like from a pro-Black perspective and a pro-African perspective, the first film had its issues, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
literally, man comes from Africa, got where all the women are submissive, yeah, and without agency, and goes to America find an independent black woman. Like, there's all kinds of problems with that narrative, right?
A light-skinned independent black woman,
right? And as well as the colorism issues. And by the way, on that point, where was Patrice? Yeah, I want to know where Patrice is.
That's
right?
so true.
Patrice seems to have disappeared from the planet. Patrice was not mentioned. Right? I don't know where Patrice is. We got one little picture of Patrice next to her sister. Yeah, and I'm a little bit hurt about that, because when I was a little youth, I thought Patrice was well nice. And for those of you who's like half the audience who are wondering, who the hell is Patrice? Patrice is Lisa's sister. Yeah, the dark sister one that was running down all the man them. Right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You get me? Like Patrice, that was basically getting down with Simi, right? That, and you know what I'm saying? There was no Patrice. I want to know where Patrice was.
He was the real prince. And it turns out she didn't get the prince in the end. It was the sister that got the prince in the end, and there was all that politicalness around it then.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So where Patrice there? That all I know. All right. But either way, yeah. Like my thing is, yeah. Again, the storyline was whack. It was lazy, and the depictions, the comedy, as Naledi was saying, was far less sophisticated. I think even with the contradictions of the first film, there's two things here. Firstly, it was the 1980s, right? And so there's a level of ignorance here that, you know what I'm saying, you know, is commensurate with the time. You might let it go with the time, innit? And secondly, it was actually, other than that, the humor was sophisticated and good, and the storyline was good. The characters were relatable and likable, all right? None of that was in this film. And I think Kevlar said it when he said that, think about it. Look at everything that Lisa was in the first film. Did we learn anything new about Lisa, apart from the fact that she likes a bit of a bit of drink, yeah, a bit of alcohol every now and then?
She was a virgin when she met.
Yeah, and she was you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't learn nothing new about her character. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's and yeah, like, how did man end up clean thousands of miles across the world, and then comes back and speak to his wife about the fact that he went to America? Anyway, that's a joke. But what's it called? But yeah, that's a joke. I thought visually it looked good. Yeah. I slightly disagree with Naledi, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the same costume designer for Black Panther was the same costume designer for this one. Right?
It cannot be.
I think it was. I could be wrong, but I think it was the case, right? I think it was, yeah. But to me, I thought it looked visually very good. Like, but I know, I thought visually it looked good to me. Yeah, I thought when Leslie Jones, yeah, her character, after she got her special bath treatment and all these things.
Oh yeah, that was jokes. Still, it was predictable. It was predictable. It was fun.
That was entirely, yeah. But yeah. When that garb that she was wearing, I thought that she looked very nice in that garb after she came out of that bar. What's it called? I like
her up well from the crazy mad ghetto baby mother to
but that's the thing, right? No, yeah, I thought visually it looked good, but that's about the only point in the film at which it improved. And even then, visually, the first film looked good. Yeah, I felt like the stereotypes were way too much and they weren't intelligent. I think that somebody made a point about. I think Nigel made a point about if it's in house, we should be able to laugh at ourselves. I agree with that. Yeah, but why is it that the stereotypes have been the same for like 2 generations and they have not evolved? And I'm talking about on the right, yeah, and I'm talking about in relation to Africans in America.
As a people, Shax, we're expected to.
And this is why I said it's very American. It's very American.
That's the point. No, but I'm saying even as from the perspective of Africans in America and Africans in Africa, right? Both sides of those stereotypes were unintelligent. So, for example, we've done it a million times. Yeah, in fact, there are black comedies that spoof the Hollywood. As an industry that ridicule the casting process and the directors for wanting Hoochie Mama #1 and Ghetto Chick #2 and Gangster #3, right? Just what I'm saying. And even Leslie Jones's character, all right. I'm not one of the people that feel like we shouldn't depict black people in the hood. But if we're gonna depict black people in the hood, why has it got to be the same pimp hole slapstick, yeah, all the time? Like I don't understand it. Every known African stereotype, yeah, was in this film, and here's the problem with that. That joke here,
that was deliberate though, because it was so excessive. It's like all the classic stereotypes in one place. from
But
both
you know
sides.
why? You know why it must have been deliberate. That's what makes it even worse, because it was bloody lazy. Is because of that joke in the barbershop when they told the story about when they come in the barbershop for the first time, and they say and they lay out all the stereotype jokes, ha 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 ha, and then the guy says the thing about the flies on the face children, right? And the barber says, oh no, you're gone too far, you gotta get out of the shop. So I'm saying, if you had the intelligence to know that in terms of that joke, then the rest of the film don't make no sense, because every stereotype, every other stereotype was in this film. You had you had rebel armies, child soldiers. Yeah, what's it called?
This is what I'm saying. It was on purpose.
I'm sorry. I'm not feeling this idea that this woman has been hopping on her one foot and barking like a dog for the last 33 years. What the hell is that? That was terrible. That was a terrible. Whoever made that decision, yeah, needs a slap. Yeah, whoever made that decision.
Got no laughs, boy.
No, none. This woman appears twice in the film, yeah, and this is a respected actress, right? She's got chops, yeah. This woman appears twice in the film, and every time she appears, she's barking like a dog. After 33 years, I'm sorry. I'm not letting it go. Yeah, I'm not giving it a buy. I'm sorry.
And again, to add to that as well, like on top of that element, which I agree with, is the fact that there's a political issue that the two countries face in relation to the dog hopping daughter, and then the history repeating itself, where he ditched another daughter from the same country or family, and how they managed to skim over that, and there were no problems. Because again, I thought that's kind of ruined it for me. So someone's tapping.
Yeah, fam. So yeah, I weren't feeling it. Like I said, it was lazy to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was no. I didn't like in the first film. It was a comedy, but there was an emotional investment. Yeah, they brought you into the relationship between Akeem and Lisa. Yeah, like so when they got married, yeah, or when they actually got together, there was an emotional investment in their relationship by that point in it, right? Just what I'm saying. I didn't get that with this, and I agree with that lady. The sister there
with Lavelle and his woman, his
it was dead. Their whole relationship was dead. It was predictable, and she was very good. Right? She was one of the best parts of the film for me. Yeah, her character as well as her acting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I think she's a beautiful sister. By the way, all of them for me were very beautiful. Yeah, like the black woman is beautiful, but the sisters of, and especially Mika. Yeah, Lord have mercy, that is a beautiful black woman. However, yeah, like I mean, I didn't get her character was dead. So much of the storyline revolved around the fact that women in cannot become queens, right? Which is a nonsense. And all right, let me show you what I'm talking about now. One example. Now, I'm doing a whole next video on this, right? So I'm not going to talk too much here, right? Nonsense. I'm willing to put it on the line that there's nowhere in civilization whereby there are more queens featured than in Africa, among African cultures. Yeah. So why can't that be a stereotype that we can turn into some comedic value? Like there's so many things that you can do, right? To stereotype that, all right, and make it comedic, right? You know what I'm saying? You could stereotype a whole queenship thing, right? You know what I'm saying? As far as Africans are concerned, and there's all these queens. You can do that if you wanted to, but instead they went on this backward, and so the portrayal of the African royalty was much more like the history of Europe than the history of Africa.
Exactly.
So it's not even an African stereotype. It's a European stereotype of Africa.
Get it right.
Even in Black Panther as well, the whole thing around the throne being handed down to the men and not the women was there as well. I remember in the original series, Princess Shuri was trying to escape from the palace so that she could compete to become Black Panther herself. So I feel that patriarchal element is still quite a common theme.
It's not even African. It's not even an African, it's not even so much part of African culture. Like Shakra said, if we look historically. So, again, it's the standard that you want. Do you want a realistic portrayal of your culture as a Black person? Yes, no, okay. If it's no, then coming to America is for you. Yeah, enjoy it, because that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I went to like this film. I love Eddie Murphy. Yeah, like as an artist, I actually wanted to like this film. Innit? Like, I wanted to, but I'm not gonna lie, fam. I was 7 minutes in. I was watching it with my partner and our daughter, and I stopped the film and said, "This is gonna be painful." Yeah, I'm not gonna enjoy it. And
yeah, it's definitely something that we anticipated a lot, and yeah, it's a shame that it wasn't well received and well loved by us all. If they do a Coming to America 3, hopefully they come better. We'll have to wait and see, really, isn't it, guys? Is there anything else anyone wants to add? Let me just read this comment from Dr. Sankofa. It says, look at the Nigerian versus Jamaican comedy. I think he's referring to Wahala. Dave Chappelle, etc., Method Man, etc. I'm sorry, guys, but there has to be a standard. And if things don't get met, it's got to get called out. Yeah, Dr. Sankofa, thank you for sharing that here.
Yeah.
I agree, man. Intelligent comedies. Do you know what? Yeah, one more. Sorry, sis.
About one of the outfits.
I watched the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Speak.
It's okay. Oh, just a small point. Okay, just Mika's dress. Mika wore a Puma. First of all, Puma was sponsoring.
And definitely, so bad.
Companies were onto this film.
She's wearing Jamaica colours. Did you notice she's wearing Jamaica colours?
Everybody was involved. What was the money? But Puma was. Mika was wearing this.
You're breaking up, sis.
She was. That's exactly what I was talking about, and that's fine, and that's great. But again, that's not realistic. So, hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that better?
Perfect.
No? Okay, it's fine. It's cool.
We can hear you, sis.
I think she got a little bit of a delay, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just lagging. I apologize.
No problem, sis. We blame BT. What's it called?
Shucks,
it's got up my head now, you know. It was a good fight as well.
Never mind. Next time.
I've got it back. Right. So in terms of the archaic and kind of just unsophisticated nature of the jokes, yeah. Right. So we've got a lot of stereotypes about British royalty, right? You know what I'm saying? And in Britain, there are a lot of things that satire like British royalty and the royal family and them kind of things there, yeah. But they do it differently if they're satiring or mocking, you know what I'm saying, or portraying stereotypes of British royalty in 1600 versus, you know, 2021, right? So, for example, yeah, I'm gonna in a totally different genre. What's it called? Game of Thrones, yeah. All right, you hear the term bastard a lot, yeah. Bastard child, bastard this, bastard that, yeah. But that's because they're portraying Britain. It's a satire of Britain, yeah, in the 1600s, right, in the medieval times and them kind of things there. If they were doing that in 2021, they wouldn't refer to the children of the outside children of the monarch as bastards. They might say illegitimate heir. Or so it struck me as like, why is the term bastard being used so much?
Yeah.
In this thing, like, you know what I'm saying? This day and age.
That's a good point still. It was excessive, in fact.
Yeah. It wasn't relevant.
Yeah.
You outgrown it, man. You just outgrown it.
Well, I think it's fair to conclude that the majority of the panel says thumb down to Coming to America. So on that note, we will give it a thumbs down overall. So guys, we're gonna wrap up now. As I said, Cipher, that after a long break will be coming back with the next episode on the 16th of March, and we'll be hosting Nat 9 Stella from Voyage to the Motherland. So on that note, I'm going to say Cipher, the mathematical concept of zero, the nothing from which all things come, The Cipher, a circle complete unto itself, a circuit connected by the meeting of minds, especially designed for the flow of ideas. You step into the Cipher. The Cipher, self-expression, is the current that keeps all in constant flow. We begin the Cipher. The Cipher is completed by you. So join the Cipher on the 16th of March. Stay tuned. This is the Cipher. Thanks for tuning in.
Should more African nations join the Year of Utaya?
I would say every descendant of Africa should go home.
But the same things are happening. The tax money is still coming back to Europe.
How do we contribute to the decolonization of Africa?
So if Africa is our focus, are we then neglecting the Caribbean?
The year returned so successful, 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion. And all of a sudden, the whole world shut down.
Making sure that people on the continent see the real picture of how we live here.
Welcome from Ghana, Accra.
Enter the Cipher.
Year of many unforeseen challenges, where all had to adjust to a new reality. And despite it all, GotKush TV was and still is here to serve you. And what a year it's been. We began the repatriation journey with our new show, Voyage to Motherland. We dropped the knowledge as you took your seats in the Kush Community and joined us to hold a meds with the Ankh Doc. GotKush TV invited you to get involved in controversial conversation and enter the Cipher. And when the world went into lockdown, we kept you connected with the quarantine convos. We kept our finger on the pulse of the community with coverage of the Reparations Rebellion and the Black Pound Day all day. Not to mention more wordsmith and a slew of new music video releases for your viewing pleasure, and the official launch of the GotKush TV website. We also brought you events including Women of Power and of course Black Tricity. Now in 2021, GotKush TV is continuing to level up the thing. First up, we are pleased to inform you that gotkushtv.com is open to exclusive memberships. Sign up to any of our membership tiers and you will gain access to playbacks from all our events and an ever-growing list of exclusive original content, including interviews, documentaries, and shows such as Kush Community. To become an official member of gotkushtv.com, simply hit the membership tab. Stay tuned for continued updates. Then there's the new shows. Look out for more Decipher, Wordsmith, Hold a Meds with the Ankh Doctor, and weekly episodes of Quarantine Convos focused on health, wellness, education, and inspiration for our community. As always, the GotKush TV film team is available for hire to cover all your events, adverts, infomercials, and all filming needs. Visit us at gotkushtv.com for hire inquiries and more information. Stand by all Black businesses through our website, social media, and show content. We have monumental advertising, sponsored network opportunities catering specially for you. Check out the advertising page on gotkushtv.com for more information. GotKush TV is in full flight to join us for the ride. There's 4 things you can do. Subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell to make sure you don't miss a release. Join us on all social media and hit up gotkushtv.com to subscribe to our mailing list and sign up to become a GotKush TV member for exclusive opportunities in the near future. Let us know you are feeling our content by hitting that ever so important button of approval. Comment. We want to hear your feedback on everything we are putting out. So make sure your presence is felt in the comment section. Share. Spread the word by hitting that share button and exposing your circle to the magnificence that is GotKush TV. We are looking forward to building with you throughout 2021 and servicing you with high quality black media production. GotKush TV, beyond discussion, beyond debate, we put the power in black media.